What's up? We're live. Hey guys, it's Keith Kelfis. I got a special guest for you right now. You know my friend Joshua Latimer. I've had him on the podcast, bro. We've hung out. I've gone to his live events, and here's a guy who's built multiple businesses past the $1 million mark. He's built automated businesses. He's put people in place to run those businesses. He's sold businesses, and he's a true fanatic, enthusiastic. You're obsessed with marketing, bro. This is Joshua Latimer from warplan.com. He's personally coached over 1,000, way over 1,000 entrepreneurs right now, and he's helped create a whole bunch of millionaires. I've been part of his Warplan Insiders group, and the stuff that I've learned is just mind-blowing. His ability to articulate things that help you market your business to get a lot more leads and close more customers. Anyways, I wanted to bring him on right now because he's going to teach some epic stuff real quick. We're going to do this maybe like 10, 15 minutes. And I want you to check out his free event. Is it September 13th and 14th, Josh?
Yep. Next Wednesday and Thursday, with the 13th, 14th, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern. So it'll be kind of in the evening, hopefully when people can think and squirrel away and get quiet.
Yeah, no. So what's up, Josh? And what's everybody? I see you guys in the comments. What's up, man? What's on your mind, bro?
Just raising 5 kids and trying to change the world. But what this event about it next week is about closing the gap. And if I could summarize the single greatest way that I've helped the most people, it's helping people understand the idea of closing the gap. And all it means is you have a goal and you have reality, and there's a gap in between those two things. So how do we climb the mountain? And this isn't to be cheesy or make this, dramatic, but the reality is that sales and marketing is kind of the bedrock of all high achieving companies. And that's the hardest part for a lot of smaller companies. So people get stuck at 3, 4, 500,000, 600,000, and that's a problem. And the way to break out of that is to close the gap. And then at the same time, there's a lot of people that have $2 or $3 million businesses that really still don't make the money they thought they would. I think we have this idea of how rich we're going to be when we have a $2 or $3 or $4 million business. And it just doesn't shake out like that because their margins are off, right? The service industry as a whole thing is very hard. It's a complicated business model because you have all these humans, you have to buy a bunch of equipment, and then you have to spend money on marketing. It's complex. You get overwhelmed and you don't understand your numbers. So closing the gap is all about reverse engineering your revenue goals using logic, using math, and using hopefully as little emotion as possible. Because the reality is, and I'll just draw a diagram here, is that most service companies, they have a revenue curve that looks something like this throughout the year. And it depends on where you are in the country and what service you provide, but basically like you're poor.
That's our revenue curve, exactly.
Yeah. You're poor, and then you're balling, and then you panic here, even though it happens every year, and then you're mini balling again, and then you're poor again. And it's this emotional roller coaster. And what happens is people do their marketing backwards. Backwards means that they stop spending money on marketing up this curve right here because they get booked a month or two out. Right. And then when it starts to go down, they panic and they spend all of their money, waste all their money marketing when people don't want to buy their stuff. And then it goes up again and the cycle continues. Right. And so what I help people understand, and I have for 10 years, and what's helped me in my business is understanding asymmetrical marketing. And all that means is we're going to take your big goal of the whole year, and we're going to break it down so that you're only living 7 days at a time. And depending on your specific revenue curve for your service in your market with the nuance of your thing, there's like a short list of things to do each week that guarantee that you close the gap and hit your goal every single time. The problem is the whole elephant is so big, we don't understand those little bitty numbers. You would agree, Keith, that if I drank a gallon of water a day and I worked out every single day and I ate less calories than I burned, that it's impossible that I don't become fit, right?
Agreed.
It's impossible. You become inevitable. Fitness becomes inevitable. For a business, the $1 million+ mark or getting your profitability up is the same thing. There's logical things that have to be done over a time horizon for your business to become inevitable, for your success to become inevitable. And these are little things done every week, like following up with the right relationships, playing the long game with certain things, and then knowing your lever numbers. So what we're going to talk about in the training are called money levers. And it's this idea, and it's logic and math, not just an idea, of how do you create a box that has repeatable, semi-replicatable, predictable results. If you put $1 in the top and then $8 comes out the bottom, like, who wants that box? Well, it's a bunch of simple math, and it's a bunch of non-emotional logic that helps you get there every time. And so when I say I've helped create over 100 millionaires, the reality is that winners win. But yes, I do help people go a lot faster. But this is the way that I do it. It's a close the gap framework. There's a way to do it, and there's a bunch of pieces to it, which is why I teach it over 2 days. But I'm going to just teach all that stuff. I'm going to teach asymmetrical money systems. I actually have a document I'm going to be giving away that has 60 money making ideas that cost no money and can make you money in less than 14 days. Just ways to do things differently, because there's so much power in nuance of marketing. People say, I tried yard signs and it didn't work. It's like, no, you don't work. You did it wrong. You can answer your phone and do it bad. We could have 10 companies answer the phone, and one of them gets extreme results and the other ones are average, because it's not just about doing the right things. It's about how you do the things, whether it's direct mail or postcards or phone scripts, the way that you sell your packages, the way that you create perceived value. How do you get a customer to feel like you're going to cost $1,000 more than the other guy, and then be pleasantly surprised you're only $300 more than the other guy? How do we do that? And that's what we're going to talk about. And how do we know the numbers, the logic? How do we reduce the workload down to 7-day windows so that we don't have panic attacks? How do we make more money during the revenue curve when we're ticking up, so that we don't leave all the profit on the table? I can tell you a secret. If you ever are booked a month or two out, you are leaving humongous amounts of money on the table for your family. And it's really easy to fix. It's really easy to fix. But we almost wear it like a badge of honor that we're booked 2 months out.
That's
And
me.
then when
We're booked 2 months out.
when we don't have
Yeah.
the jobs booked, we discount our prices. We spend money on weird marketing. We hire a 22-year-old named Brock who has a marketing agency, and we're like, he'll save the day, right? And we start to do these silly things, and we give away all the profit we did make. And it's this vicious cycle that keeps people stuck. It's easy to fix. I'm going to break down how it's fixed. I'm going to give people these 60 money-making things in a document on this event too. It's a free event. On day 2 of the event, I am going to present an offer. And it's the single greatest offer I've ever made in my life. It's actually a new software platform I've built that kind of works with some of this stuff. But absolutely, regardless if people want that at all, it has nothing to do with the value you're going to get during the event. I'm going to move really fast. There's going to be lots of slides. It's going to be fun. There's going to be giveaways. My wife is going to be there emceeing, because we're all about entrepreneur families, and we want to help you close the gap. And because the reality is even though it's September right now, you winning 2024 has to happen now. And we're going to win 2024 now. I think Warren Buffett or a lot of famous investors say you make your money on the asset when you buy it, not when you sell it. And we're going to make our money in 2024 now when we plan it, not when we're in the middle of it. And so it's going to be exciting. It's awesome. I've spent over $1 million in 13 months of my life kind of preparing all of these pieces of what I'm going to present, so that it's simple, that it's clear, that it's clean. And I'm just pumped out of my mind, Keith, to be honest.
Dude, I could tell by the way you talk and the nuance of everything you're saying. You've been through these thousands of conversations and worked intimately, high and deep in the trenches with tons of other entrepreneurs, including in your own businesses, because you're pulling the words off, like, right off the top of my head. Like, so warplan.com. Open up your browser, go to warplan.com. That's where anybody can register.
Yes. And the video, we have this like really dramatic opt-in video, and my 16-year-old Maverick made it. I'm super proud
That's
of
sweet.
him.
I saw it. Yeah.
Maverick. That's where you go to sign up. It's free. And you said earlier I'd coached 1,000 business owners. That's true. But I also want to just remind everybody, less than a third of my time is spent kind of coaching people with stuff. Like, I build real companies, and I have a whole bunch of them, and it's really hard. And my wife and I started in a trailer park. We had absolutely nothing. And I will never, ever forget what it feels like to be stuck. But what's really crazy that I wish I could impute just belief into people is that things can change really fast. They can go boom, boom, boom and change. And by the way, it's not just the people that are broke, that are struggling. People that are doing $1 million, they're doing 2, they're doing a good job. There's still massive margin on the table because they don't understand the nuance of some of this stuff. And I'm the guy that a lot of these people call. There's a lot of coaches out there right now. The last thing the world needs is another coach. I mean, have you noticed there's like 10 times more coaches today than there was like 5 years ago? There's 10 times more marketing agencies today than there was 5 years ago. But these people that have $2, $3, $4, $5 million businesses, I'm the guy that they call and they're like, Josh, I'm not making the money I thought I would. What do I do? How does that work? How did you get into software, Josh? How did you build Conquer in these programs? How did you do these things? And there's conversations to be had around that too, because let me tell you one more secret, and I know we got to go, is that when people hit about $1 million ish, 1 to 2, what happens is they start asking themselves a question. They start thinking, should I sell my business? They start asking if they should scale their business and be an empire builder, like a Tommy Mello personality type. But the scale people are probably, they're definitely less than 5% of people. Most people want to get out and get into some other business opportunity vehicle. They want to do something on the internet. They want something with location independence. They want something that's less hard and pain. So they're going to sell, scale, or they're going to switch. Like these are the options. And we're going to talk about that in the workshop too, because you prepare your business for sale now. You make it sellable and understand how to increase your enterprise value now, if that's the direction you think you're going to go. And then the switch has to do with how do you monetize your brain? How do you make money on the internet? There's all kinds of cool stuff that I'm going to share with you about this, because these are the DMs I get. These are the questions I get at live events when I go do workshops. And this is where people's heads are at, because our industry as a whole, the home service industry is one big thing. This is where their heads are at. More people are hitting $1 million now than ever before. A lot of them are 25 years old, right? And that really angers the 52-year-olds that have been grinding for 30 years. And I get it. I'm going to show you how to scale like them, but also what to do after it works, which is sell, scale, or switch.
I love it. All right, guys. See, that's it. Short and sweet.
Thanks, Keith.
All right, I'll see you guys over. Go to warplan.com. I already actually signed up and registered. I'll be there. I'll be taking notes. Josh, awesome having you on, bro.
Thanks, man.
See you soon. Thanks, everybody. Peace.
Bye.